With North Carolina's tough new voting law in the national spotlight, local boards of elections from around the state were in Cary today for training. The I-Team has been looking into recent changes that critics say are motivated purely by politics. The UNC John Camp live in Raleigh with some pointed questions for election officials. John?
Hey, good evening, Larry. In the days since the election bill became law, it's been about 2 weeks now, a handful of counties have made changes that some fear could be real obstructions to voting. Today we asked local elections officials from those counties about it. They had very little to say to us, but their critics were fired up and ready to talk.
We've seen it in Watauga County. We're hearing the same thing they happen in Forsyth County. There's been some mischief, I would say, in Pasquotate County. And of course, it reeks of politics.
The day after Governor McCrory signed the voting bill, the Republican-led Board of Elections in Watauga County shut down 2 early voting sites, one at Appalachian State. Now, students and everyone else in that precinct, almost 10,000 people, will have to go to a building a mile off campus on a busy road with no sidewalk and no public transportation. Here's the lone Democrat on that Board of Elections before the vote.
This is just damn stupid.
Today, the Republican in charge of elections in Watauga County, Luke Eggers, had this to say.
A lot of stuff's under appeal right now, and I just don't feel comfortable making any more comments at this time.
What can you tell us? A lot of people thought it was a political move. What can you tell us?
It's not. It's done for efficiency. It's done to speed up the voting process. I can tell you that.
Okay? It created the 3rd largest voting site in the state with 9,300 people in the precinct. Is that efficient?
Sir, I've made my comments. I appreciate it, okay?
In Pasquotate County, something similar. The Board of Elections voting to block students at ECSU from running for office or voting, despite the fact they've been doing so for years. There, too, the chair had nothing to say.
It's filed an appeal,
Okay.
so I have no comment.
The chair of the State Board of Elections, now also controlled by Republicans, started today's conference by telling local elections officials they're not political actors, they're administrators. Here's what he told us.
We're looking to make sure that the law as it reads is applied.
What does that mean?
Well, it should be nonpartisan.
Do you feel any pressure?
Not at all. We are an independent agency, and we don't even serve at the
You're
pleasure.
appointed by the governor.
We were appointed, and then we are left to fly. We are an independent agency, and we don't serve at their pleasure. We don't answer to them. We do our conscience.
Josh Howard there with the State Board of Elections chair, the new chair, says he expects more changes may come in more counties and that some of those, if not many of those, may be challenged. Larry, if that happens, they will all wind up on the State Board of Elections desk. Then we will see the rubber hitting the road when it comes to politics being taken out of the equation one way or the other. This is a story we'll be covering for a long time to come.
Some pretty interesting issues tied up in that. John Camp's all over it. Thank you, John.